What is up, y'all, and welcome to another Epic 7 stream. It's your boy, Mashuu.
How's it going, guys? It's your bestest of friends, Nue.
And today we have a World's End podcast. Now, what that means is we're going to be going over a list of topics alongside a couple of our high-end Twitch streamers over here.
Would you say they're high end though?
I don't know, it's up to you.
Okay.
Freaking new.
They're Epic 7 streamers. Play it safe.
But
yeah?
yes, E7 streamers, guys.
Yeah.
And who we have on today is right here. There you go. You guys can see him on the screen. We got BK Kenny, Cannaaaa, and Light E7. Now let's introduce yourself, starting from the top left. Kenny.
Hello, is my mic working? How are you guys all doing? My name is Kenny, aka BK Kenny on Twitch. I am a E7 World Cup contender back in season 3, and I've been a 3-time legend.
Wow, 3-time legend, man. Weird flex, you know. Just gotta flex that in there. Recently was branded as electric, you know, but he wanted that BK Kenny in there because to get that bad kid represented, right?
That's a lot of inside jokes.
True. But Cannaaaa, you're up next.
Hi guys, I'm Cannaaaa, your local no-brain using, new beating Mort Cleaver. I don't stop streaming until I hit Legend, which is why I continue to stream every day. I probably have some of the most games and the lowest win rate of any person that is considered a high-end RTA player.
Wait, did he just open up his statement with he beat me with Mort?
No.
You did?
I did.
Maybe.
You said that, right? I didn't hear that wrong, right?
No,
So guys,
Yes.
guys, in chat, guys in chat, if you go to my Twitch profile and you check out my clips, one of my most recent clips is me fighting
What the heck?
Cannaaaa in the ladder. I actually matched against him, and he got really excited because he thought he won the match, but he was only thinking like 2 steps ahead, while my galaxy brain was like 8 steps ahead of him. So
Oh my
I misplayed,
God.
by the way. I misplayed.
No. Here's the thing. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh, hit the A Ravi. Let me tell you, it actually wouldn't have made a difference. It actually would not have made a difference.
Hey, let him have that out. Let him have that out.
Thanks for the free points, by the way. Anyway, moving on.
Dang, and last but not least, we have Mr. Light E7.
Wow, I thought you guys forgot about me. Hello, I am Light_E7, and I'm known as the villain in the Twitch community.
I think even more so now than before.
Oh really? Why
Gosh,
is that?
dude.
I wonder why. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah,
So
me too.
Resident Cleaver, yeah.
Actually, nice guy. But yeah, we have a lot of things to discuss today. You know, we have a couple cleavers and then Kenny over here as well, talking about the high parts of RTA, right?
Well, I think today's broadcast really touches on topics that are a lot of hot takes, I would say, within
True.
the community, especially within like the cleaving community. And you guys will see on the survey we released today, there's a question asking, you know, which playstyle do you play? We kind of want to know what playstyle do players in chat prefer
Or at least
most?
consider themselves,
Yeah,
right?
they consider themselves, right? So, anything you guys want to say before we hop right into the topics in today's podcast?
Yeah, anything you guys are looking forward to today?
Oh,
Nope.
are you asking us?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, well, I mean, like maybe it's a rhetorical question to the chat. I don't know. I'm good to go. I'm ready to get through some of these topics.
He's ready. The Cannaaaa
Me
Light.
too.
Wait, let me read the scripts real quick.
Mashu, I swear, I knew we should have got different people.
Yeah.
I called it. This was gonna happen. Alright, anyway, we'll work with what we have.
But yeah, let's move on to the first topic of the day. Nue. Take
Alright,
it
guys.
away.
So, the first one, I kind of want to start this stream off like with heavy hands, you know? We don't want to inch our way into the big topics, so let's just get it over with. Hot take. The topic is Cleve dead?
Oh,
No.
damn, we coming out here big
Okay,
already.
so Light, you're already opening up with like a immediate no. Can you give us some thought process behind that?
Well, I think Cleave is better than ever. I feel like it's been getting better with every patch.
Dang, really? That's
Like there's so many options to like kill people with now. Like it, like and you can see it. Like if you watch my stream, you can see that my win rate, it just keeps going up over time. It's
What's
crazy.
your win rate right now currently?
It's actually 62.3 as a cleaver.
Kana, what's your win rate right now?
Interest. I think we should like light continuous train of thought. Actually, kind of rude of you actually to break train of thought there.
Well, I
Wouldn't
just-
you say new?
I just want chat to have a good comparison. You gotta go like good comparables. What's a good win rate? Chat doesn't know. So what's your win rate?
Why do you have to lead it off with good win rate and then throw it back to me?
Okay, we'll come back to you later then. Anyway, carry on, Mike.
47.3.
Thank you very much, Kana.
But yes, like you were saying, so why is Cleve not dead?
Yeah, your win rate keeps going up, right?
I mean, like I said, there are so many options for cleave these days, and like the cleave counters don't really work that well right now.
I see.
I
Right
don't know.
now.
Like the units you use in cleave are just so good.
What units are you using to cleave right now?
I'm picking Arbiter Villager every game.
You're disgusting.
Oh my god.
Nothing's changed.
Nothing's changed.
Yeah,
How you
just
feeling
slam,
about,
just
like,
slam, just slam RV.
How you feeling about people talking, like about Pavel recently too?
We'll get to
Oh,
those topics.
Pavel?
Wait,
Oh,
we'll
okay,
get to those
sorry.
topics.
My bad.
One at a time. So that's Light's take on if Cleave is dead. He says a hard no, and he's still able to cleave successfully. How about you, Kana? I know you're a cleaver.
I think cleave is definitely doable and strong, but as someone that has definitely tried to mimic what light does, I can assure you that it is definitely really like if you have the brain and like the gear and the units of light, I think it's definitely like pretty like a pretty good playstyle. But I can tell you, if you struggle on gear or imprints, like especially on your RB, I'm just gonna say it's a little bit tough. I don't think like any tougher than it has been. Like I still think like cleave is definitely still like viable. You can do it, but there are a lot of times where some very bright-minded cleavers are in my chat, and they're like, pick these several units that you have here, or haha, how come your RB is missing attack ring, or doing no damage, and I don't know what the solution is then.
Yeah, but even so, you're like sitting in Emperor, like pretty high in Emperor, right?
We're
That's
gonna
true.
get to that topic. We will get to that topic
We get to
eventually.
every topic.
I just want to say I just really enjoyed Kana's whole speech. It was like a very clever way to disguise himself calling Light gear carried. Anyway.
Wow.
I said his brain. I started off by saying if you are as smart as light, okay?
Okay.
Brain
Sure.
carried.
I was
Huh?
ready for you to talk about his gear
Kinda-
first too. I'm not gonna
Kinda, I think I could get to legend on your account.
lie.
If I was on
I
your
said brain
account,
carried.
could-
I said brain carried. I said brain carried. Okay.
Okay.
No, that's Light saying that you have good stuff on your account though.
Okay.
Yeah, but then
Right?
he's also calling me an idiot, isn't
No, no, no.
he? Isn't
No.
that the-
He's just maybe saying that you.
I mean
you
that's
have
just your
time.
interpretation.
Yeah. Maybe he's just like, oh, I could get to legend on your account. Maybe there's some things you still need to do for Cleve, that you're not seeing that Light does,
Wait, what?
right?
When did Lunel get partnered?
What?
Who's that?
No.
That's crazy to me. Anyway, okay, moving on. Yes,
Kenny.
Kenny, BK.
All right, so if you guys don't know any background about me, I'm a very, there's a lot of what we call MLMs, right? Multi-level marketing scams that are done by a lot of streamers. And for me, I'm more of a visual learner. Can I get some hand raises in the chat, please, as well, for those of you who are visual learners as well? I feel like, we have to look at some actual citations of where these, players are really doing well. Light here says that his win rate is going up. So I pulled up a few of his streams, and we're going to ask ourselves, really whether or not Cleave is good. So I have this first screenshot here. And I just wanted to point that out. Okay, it's fine, it's fine. I mean that could be an unknown circumstance. So here I have Exhibit B as well. Not really sure what's going on here, but I'm clearly seeing a trend. So you know, sometimes Exhibit A, Exhibit B, you know, is not enough. So here we have Exhibit C.
Okay. Oh my.
And
my gosh.
I really don't know what's going on here. So I don't know. Is Cleave dead? You guys tell me. The evidence is kind of right there. But, okay,
I mean,
but,
Kenny has proof and he's backing it up, you know.
anyways, I think it also stems a little bit back into like how you would really describe, you know, Cleave, right? Because to me, when I play RTA, and I play more of like a mixture of playing super aggressive and, you know, just, you know, very passive with, you know, Knights, Ruel, and so forth. I think it depends on how you kind of define Cleave. Because to me, I would define Cleave as a draft that plays extremely aggressive, right? And revolves around winning in, you know, one or two, like, you know, character rotations, right? If you don't really win right away, then, you know, you're in a pretty bad spot, right? When I think about like a lot of the drafts that, you know, a lot of cleavers are using right now, it provides a lot of coverage into, you know, select units, right? For example, I think one of the harder cleave counters, right? Fast units like a Sid, right, can kind of deter someone from playing cleave, and you're forced to pretty much react with like a speed imprint, right, to guarantee that you'll take first turn. But then when you take a slot like that, then you also struggle with doing a lot of damage, right? And I actually think that right now, with the way that people are kind of playing, I feel like Cleave is actually in a pretty good spot. Like, despite, you know, Cat losing and, you know, as a premier streamer, I do want to highlight as well, I do have this rare image that I was really proud of. So we do have a screenshot of Cannaaaa actually winning. I was really proud of that one. So, you know, with all of like this evidence put into consideration, I actually do feel like, you know, Cleave does pretty well, right? Like, I don't know.
I just want to say that this stream was not rehearsed. There was no rehearsals, but this feels so scripted.
I know.
It feels like Kenny came into this like knowing that this
He's
would
prepared,
happen.
yeah. He knew what was going to happen. He predicted the future, you know.
Okay.
He got the foresight in.
Interesting. Okay.
But yeah, so pretty much across the board, what we're seeing is like
Yeah,
Cleave is
Right.
okay. It's pretty stable. It's working well. It depends on like how you use it and what units you use against it. Especially with like the things that are out right now, right?
Yeah, so actually, like moving further into this topic, because it sounds like everyone's under the same consensus that
For the most part,
for
like,
the
like
most
hovering
part,
on it,
right. But there was a hot take on Reddit, I believe, last week or a couple days ago, where it was mentioned that after Bellion gets released, it's going to be impossible for mages and thieves to be able to cut through knights and like warriors, and it's gonna revert back to like more of a slower bruiser
More
playstyle.
slower, yeah.
And now, because you guys say that Cleave is good right now, but what about after Bellion?
True,
Okay,
especially
so-
after what Kenny said, right?
Yeah. Let me. I can actually go into a little bit of this. So I think part of the fun with RTA and World Arena is that you only have, you know, essentially 5 units to pick. So a lot of the times, what you're doing early on in the most, you know, stereotypical kind of draft is you're picking units that sort of cover your bases, right? And not to necessarily show your hand. When I played a lot of strategy games, you know, coming from TFT and a lot of these higher end like card games. And if you think about RTA like a card game or a strategy game, if you pick your draft revolving around a single win condition, right, like Tagahel's book, for example, you know, you're already putting yourself at a disadvantage because you're showing your hand, right? Usually when you're picking these book holders, you're kind of already telegraphing the other units that you're going to pick synergistically with that, right? So when I define Cleave as a, you know, extremely aggressive playstyle, right, going back to that from a little bit earlier, when you're playing aggressive, you're not necessarily forcing to draft units like Tagahel's book, right? There are other units that you can still use as well to sort of, you know, play that aggressive playstyle without using Tagahel's book, right? And Bellion definitely is a good cover unit, right? It'll stop people from first picking, you know, units like Pavel enablers and so forth because you'll get punished for it, right? So it'll
Triple
stop
book
people
people,
from playing
stuff
that
like
way, right? But it doesn't stop people from necessarily picking very aggressive, because Bellion doesn't answer the drafts that, you know, are punishing people that don't contest first turn at all. High speed strays is really popular right now. Bellion is not going to fix that, right? You know, even I think a lot of people are seeing Luna being drafted now as a sort of, you know, high dealing, like high damage dealing first turn unit, especially when people don't, you know, contest that first turn. I've done it myself where I pick, you know, some sort of attack buff, whether it's Amelia or Flan, and drafting Luna with it, right? And killing someone with that, right? And that just does not even require souls at all, right? And I think, like, if your definition of playing cleave is that sort of aggressive play style,
Wait,
then
hold
Bellion...
up, Kenny.
Oh.
Connor looks like he's ready to spit something. Well, what's up, Connor?
No.
How you feel about
Continue.
Oh, no.
I feel like, I don't know. Okay. Let me like kind of ask this as a question then. Like, so nowadays, like, it's kind of discussed here that, like, oh, you know, there's a lot of ways to cleave, right? But I feel like there are a lot of people that come into my stream and they ask me to, like, oh, like, how do you cleave with this? Can you cleave like that? And whatever. And then I have, like, some of the, like, not so, like, higher, not, like, quite champion or not quite, like, challenger, and they ask how to cleave. And the thing is that, I feel like a lot of people, especially at the, like, when they're kind of newer to the game, they see, like, people cleave. Like, obviously they'll see, like, someone like Light cleave, they'll see someone like Jenna cleave, whoever. And they try to replicate it, but a lot of them can't, right? Because a lot of them won't have strays, a lot of them won't have, like, you know, RB or something like that, or they'll be missing something. And so I was gonna ask, like, maybe as, like, poses a question, like, do you feel like this the cleave that we have right now, this fast strays cleave, is like a kind of like a requirement of being able to cleave? Because I don't think you can, like, early pick, like, the CDOM type cleave anymore, right? I feel like that's going to be a little more difficult with units like Bellion and stuff on the... So I was just kind of wondering, like, how the average player would be affected by, like, Bellion, as opposed to, like, us up here.
Yeah, that makes sense for sure. Because, like, most of you guys who are higher RT are just like, oh, new character comes out, I'm going to grab them easily. Other people, like, maybe don't have the pool to do so either. And but in that case, it does change, like, how the meta works and how cleave is overall, because now they have to think about Bellion, even though like, some people might not have it, some people might have it, but the fact that she's there, it has to be kept in their mind, right? And at that point, that's where the, like, adapting of units comes through. Like I was talking about how there's a bunch of other units for cleave as well, right? And maybe we're gonna see more different types of cleave on that end to become more popular, over than just, like, being able to have buck. Like you said, being able to pick CDOM early before was like, oh, this person's gonna cleave, but I don't know how they're gonna cleave. All I know is, like, they have CDOM now picked up. What's up, New?
I think I can answer.
I want to hear the rest of what these guys want to say first. Yeah.
For sure.
Okay, so I do have a response to Cannaaaa here, and it's like, I think the main thing is the struggle of figuring out what to balance and cater your changes to, right? Because if a unit does too much and it is pickable in too many situations, it makes the game a lot less complex, right? Which is a problem on its own. So I would feel like, in order to make RTA as interesting as possible, if, you know, Epic 7 continues with their 10-year plan, right, is to not, like, you know, is to add levels of complexity there and not have units be, you know, these end-all be-all kind of characters, right? I mean, we've seen how strong certain characters are if they do a little too much relative to, you know, some other things, right?
I want to hear the input of the person that hasn't said anything.
Light, where you at?
I kind of got lost. Wait, what question are we answering exactly? What's going on?
Okay. Oh my God. Why did we invite this guy? I could have picked Cannaaaa. Cannaaaa was in chat earlier.
Okay.
Cannaaaa, are you in chat?
Oh my God.
Okay. I feel like a certain someone kind of derailed things. So we're talking about Bellion and how she affects cleave, right?
Yeah, correct.
I think Bellion is a huge overreaction. Like anyone who is worried about Bellion is probably playing like some outdated cleave, or they're just a dirty Pavel abuser who needs to pick double tenny every game to win.
Dang,
She
that
is a
hot take, the
huge,
quick
she's a
take.
huge, she's a huge overreaction. Like these wishy-washy Pavel cleavers, oh, they're probably crying, but real cleavers who know the good stuff, like real cleavers who play like RV, Watcher Sherry Strays, like the best cleave right now doesn't need book at all. Like Con,
I was like,
get with the times. You gotta adapt.
Whew.
I was like, when Light said dirty Pavel abusers, I was like looking at Kenny's face to see if I have any reactions. 'cause
I have never abused Pavel in my life. Pavel's a fair unit. It's like
Do
playing
you-
baseball with a steel bat, you know? It's still baseball.
do you recall your match? against me?
Right. Okay. Right.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Yeah. Sure. What's that? Okay.
But speaking of like
But-
that just highlights Bellion as a whole, right?
Well, that's what I want to say. Like to summarize the discussion up until now, it really does seem that there are different ways to cleave. It's not just one set cleave, right? As told by Light, as told by Kenny, but then Kanna's concern is that a very specific type of cleave is now going to become very
Harder
hurt
to do, right? Yeah.
because of Bellion's release. And to the point of both Light and Kenny, there are ways to adapt and go around that. But it's just unfortunate that a very book-focused cleave is going to kind of be
Off the table because of Bellion.
one step out the door kind of thing.
Is that
And-
really the case though?
Is that the case?
So
Yeah, that's
you
what
know
we're
how
arguing.
these people set up their cleave, right? They're really wishy-washy about it. They first pick Fallen Cecilia, they pick double Tenny, and then they have the option to play Pavel. But they don't have to play Pavel. Like what if the person picks Bellion to anticipate the Pavel, and then you just don't play Pavel, and then you beat them. So the thing with Bellion is that sure, she stops you from playing a certain way, but is it worth picking her? It's hard to say right now because she's not out yet, and you have to see what she can actually do, because I feel like if you pick Bellion, it's more of a liability for you, because she might have Politis syndrome where she has so much power in her skill 2, but then the rest of her kit is lacking. So is it worth picking her just to stop someone from picking Pavel?
And I did
I
see
don't-
Lensby who was talking about just in general too, the reason why Pavel Cleave, like you were talking about, is so powerful is because he's more of a 4th and 5th pick that you pick on hand to either go cleave if you want to go fast, or to go to a different comp, right? So if we're talking about strictly that cleave, then yeah, it does prohibit that cleave by having Bellion. But let's say you don't pick Pavel, but they early pick Bellion just to deal with your book holders. Now you're looking at, oh, if I just transition away from that cleave, then now it looks a lot better for me because Bellion won't do anything else to my my now aggressive comp over cleave, right?
Okay. Any more topics any more conversation on this, or did you want to move on to the next topic, guys?
We can move on.
Okay. I think this next topic also had a very controversial discussion surrounding it. I know names, but some creators definitely expressed very hard opinions on this. But do you guys feel that Tagahel's ancient book is a problem?
No.
Nope.
No.
Okay, next topic.
Okay. Quick and easy, I guess. I know a lot of other people will say otherwise that I've seen, judging from Reddit and other places like Discord. I've seen tag being a problem.
All right. So the next one then is cleave a problem?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm pretty passionate about this point actually.
Okay.
Well,
Ooh.
Okay.
I'll be more than happy to go into this if Kat doesn't want to say something first.
I know, you go ahead.
All right. So, I think when you look at cleave as a draft style, right? it's that aggressive playstyle, right? So your win condition is very limited, right? Because you're essentially, if you're trying to end the game in a few turns, right? You're giving up a lot of win conditions that you'd have from playing a much more standard draft, right? You give up a chance of dual attacks, resisting, debuffs, right? And waiting for like frenzy scaling, right? So when you're playing cleave, it's dependent on two main things in my opinion, right? Like a good comp, right? That's very synergistic to burst through, and insanely high damage to beat people. And the problem with that, right, is that in order to have high damage, you need very, very good gear to back it up, right? Now, you don't need good gear to make it work, but having good gear definitely helps, right? And the problem with that is that because you can't, blink into existence gear unless you're born to play Epic 7 like me, there's quite literally nothing you can do. You literally just get out, you get out whaled essentially, right? Some guy just high rolled out of his mind, and there's nothing you can do about it. And it's just so unfun to play. Like actually thinking about it, right? Like Cannaaaa can draft 2 speed imprints, but the fact that I can naturally outspeed him with 2 speed imprints, like, is that even fun for him? Like, obviously, like when I come home from like a long day of work, beating Cannaaaa makes me feel pretty good. But on Cannaa's side, like, he probably feels pretty bad, So to me, I feel like if cleave is too strong, it's just one of the worst play styles to have being consistent, right? Like, it really does feel pretty bad, honestly. That's my hot
I
take.
shouldn't be laughing this hard, but that was too good.
He had good content, and then he just had to throw me under the bus at the very end.
I mean, it was true, right? Like,
Roadkill.
It was true. He's rubbing it in even more.
Okay, I know Light was very passionate about this topic too. Light, your input?
I am? Okay. I don't know,
Yeah.
people like, I'm the villain and everything, but I still feel something. So like, whenever I watch people play and they get cleaved by someone, I just feel so bad for them. Like, dying to a cleaver looks so horrible, and it probably feels worse too. I don't know. It is not fun. Just like not getting a chance to play.
can I ask you a question?
What?
As a cleaver that streams RTA, how many games have you played?
Let me check. I play like 50 games a stream, and I am at 840 right now.
So 840 people have suffered at your hands.
Oh,
Where is the justice?
I mean, I lost 300 of those games, but
it could be less. It could be less. It could be the same person.
I mean, I like to believe that I'm raising awareness for the problem, because I'm out here smashing people. Like I'm not Connor or something. Like I'm fighting high-end players constantly, and I'm smashing 62% of them. So,
I'm trying to help the problem.
Cleave is a problem. Like, how are high-end players getting smashed by me 62% of the time?
Okay, you said
That's
you have
not
800
okay.
matches. You said you have 800 matches.
Yeah, with 62%.
I have given back to the community 830 losses. See, at least
Holy,
I have
you
not
play so much.
I have almost 16 or 1700 games actually. It's actually a little gross. I have just like eclipsed you actually.
Oh my god. Connor, you okay?
Wait, Connor, how many points are you at?
2700.
Oh, you have like 10x my games.
What do you want me to say?
Oh my god.
I'm a man of the
putting it out-
people. I'm a
putting it
man
out
of the
there.
people. Listen. A lot of people don't know this, but actually, I have like a little secret like notepad of like, I have like a little like chart of like how well I feel like I can actually be doing a day, and there needs to be a few games where the game is won, it's free, it's in my hands, but it's not interesting enough, so you spice things up a little bit, you make a really bad play here, you make a really bad play there, you don't can we consider ourselves streamers of the people if we don't, give back to the community once in a while?
Dude,
No?
Cannaaaa is like one of those chefs, right? He's like, ingenuity is everything. I have to think of the new. I gotta spice things
Exactly.
up. Even if sometimes I get some crap, it's still okay.
Exactly.
You know what?
Exactly.
You know what all that's called though, right? That's all just called copium. Anyway.
Connor, are you overdosing right now?
No, I'm not.
Are you okay, Kana? Are you okay?
Listen,
But-
who am I to try my best to be anything less than an entertainer and a man of the people? What is this win rate to me? Okay, I say this from the bottom of my heart. Win rate means nothing, young climbers.
Oh, yeah. Before death says what rank is Kana? Kana is Emperor.
It's the Emperor rank.
He's
Impressive.
like
Yeah.
you're around 300 right now, right?
Yeah, I'm like maybe like 350, 400, something like that.
Like,
Nice.
but the thing, like, and we'll talk about this. We'll talk about this topic. So I'm gonna save it. But I mean, I'll brace you for when we get there, Kana. You don't deserve to be an Emperor.
Oh my
Anyway,
god.
let's move on.
I disagree with that because I
No.
do
Oh.
think like Connor does pretty
Oh,
well.
God.
Actually.
Remember,
I do feel
remember what
like-
he said before. He said, "Work harder, not smarter."
Yeah, he did say that.
Oh my god.
But honestly, like when I first started RT as well, I definitely put in like my fair share in games as well. I think the important thing is like as long as you're like willing to take away out of those games, or like win rate doesn't matter at all, really. Even when the system was a little more harder to like climb through, like I think you did a pretty good job. Like no cap. I think
Ooh.
like people
Aw.
should put some respect to your name.
Oh,
Pat yourself on the back, Kana.
yeah.
Put some respect on that name.
Kenny's
As we
finally
get into
resuscitating me.
the
Oh,
next,
God.
he kills you first and then resuscitates you later, and he wants you to say thank you. You know.
There's no strings attached, okay?
All right, guys. So our next we're gonna skip over this next topic because I think you guys gave your pretty much like your sentiment on Bellion. So let's go ahead and just ask, what is your sentiment towards Angel of Light Angelica?
Ooh, AOL and John.
Yeah, because I know there's a lot of people in chat, especially.
They're ready.
that-
I'm ready for the chat to just like pop
Yeah.
off right now.
That feels AOL is really toxic. So
So everyone thought she was a cleave counter, but she ended up being a menace to every type of player. Pretty much.
You know, I
And
had a
she-
dream the other day. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say like so probably like so people think that we're not relatable. Let me tell you, I did not pull AOL, but I did have a dream the other day that I did pull her. I don't know what that says about me, but I just put that out there. I think she's pretty good though. Like if I dreamed
Pretty
to
good.
pull Angel of Light, I
Pretty good.
feel like she's pretty good. I don't know.
I've been waiting to
That was
pull
a
her as
lot
well,
said.
Kenny. Don't worry.
one day,
I feel
I'll
that
get her.
pain.
it's a very winded way of saying you wish you had her. Anyway,
I got
anyone else?
Spez, which I think is rare.
Kenny, I got an Angel of Light off of bookmarks the other day. Do you want my level 5 one?
Oh.
You know, I just stood up for you. I'm about to take your word. She's very strong though, as like as a standalone unit. She covers a lot of bases for sure, which I think is already like incentive to pull.
Anyone else, or is that just a common consensus?
I think it's just unfortunate that she's
She's
on a banner with Spez.
I think that's a good thing.
I guess like to balance it out. Are you saying to balance out like the strength of the banner?
So it's like less people would have her, you know?
Yes. So to balance out the banner, okay.
I honestly think though, even if you say that, people are still trying to pull her.
I think
Yeah.
that the Mystic banner with Spez is the best banner in the game. Please delete. Sorry. Sorry.
What?
I don't know. He's just
What?
foot longer. You know.
What?
He's starting his foot longer.
No. I actually think the banner's pretty good. Like AOL is pretty solid.
Okay.
AOL
What else
strong as heck.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna get away from this whole like topic on cleave and stuff like that, and now let's just turn our focus to like assume Bellion is now out. What is the future of Epic 7's World Arena meta looking like? Because I know a lot of content creators, a lot of players are speculating that after Bellion is out, we're going to revert back to Season 2, where people are no longer drafting aggressive picks first, but rather drafting their knights and
Fury
their soul
mode.
reapers and stuff like that.
Frenzies.
I kind of disagree
What?
with that actually. I don't think that's gonna be true at all. The meta is like kind of dependent on what like the broader player base is willing to pay, right? Or play, sorry. And not play. No, that's Freudian slip, my bad. And right, like if it's dependent on like what people are willing to pay, like play, whether it's like a a common build or a specific kind of unit, right? What makes certain units stronger or significantly worse is when those units are not soft countered by a ton of units, right? I think a good example of this is thinking about a unit like Carrot, right? When she came out, there were a lot of people that had really, really passionate, emotions about Carrot, right? But now we see like with Carrot not really being touched at all, with more units being released that kind of deal with her without being direct counters to her, right? Slowly shift her out of the meta, right? So if that's the meta state of a game, then the meta will never entirely shift back to what it was before. Because there are certain units that are released that will always soft counter and push those units out of the meta. For example, I think a good example of this again is like, let's think about strays, right? When we look at Season 2 draft, which is what you mentioned earlier, New, we think about Ruel, Flurry, A-Ross, Stenny, and A-Robbie, right? But when you play that slow, right, there's units that have purposely kicked out those units from the meta. Whether that's going to be Tea Time, whether that's going to be Fire and Carrot, which is still, probably pickable, right? Or even Strays to kind of deal with crowd, right? And these units that sort of soft counter these other units will make them less likely or less viable to be picked, right? And that stops things from ever reverting back to the previous meta. So I think that's like something to kind of consider, right? And like, even though like with certain pre-bans or first picks, some units will become relevant again, it doesn't mean that the meta will go back entirely to what it was before.
I just want to say that you predicted this, by the way. I remember seeing a podcast where you discussed Carrot and saying that a lot of people were saying, she's way too overtuned, Smilegate, what are you doing? You need to adjust her. And you specifically said that, eventually down the road, she's going to get phased out. Not by a direct counter, but little by little, these moving pieces are going to eventually slowly like phase her out. So
Yeah. I mean, like, I think like historically with the way that like, I don't want to go too much into like the revenue model for Epic 7, but like, I think another good unit that has come up and really changed the meta, ML Crow is another one, right? ML Crow is such a strong like deterrent back when he was first released, right? And when you look at ML Crow now, he's not really picked that much, right? Because there are units that can kind of deal with him without being picked to deal with him, right?
Yep.
And that's why certain units will become like relevant again. It's not really like me being like some sort of like god level forecaster. It's just like kind of understanding like the way that like people like to pick certain units, right? And I think the cool thing about this that makes RTA or World Arena like a much more deeper level, right, is that units might not fit that traditional role, but the builds can change, which can make units come up again, right? I think that's cool.
Yeah, we did see that thing, like everyone just like, oh, RV's dead, right?
yeah.
And then he came back with DJ and RV. Now you have like a bunch of people having like two different RVs, and then Cleve RV's now also coming back.
So I want to hear everyone else's input on the topic. Like, are we going to revert back to Season 2 with the release of Bellion? Because again, this is a very popular opinion that I think a lot of people are having, that we're going to be playing Frenzy 9 games now.
All I see is Light mod check right now. Light, you wanna?
Should I say something? Okay, so like who's saying this? Like, why would the game get slower? It's more aggressive than it's ever been, and I don't think it'll detract from that at all. There's so many ways to just go for the throat on someone. Like, just straight up kill them. Like, Fallen Cecilia, Amelia is a huge offender. She is such an aggression enabler, it's insane. And then like there's this new closer Charles draft with Fallen Cecilia going around 2. Like, the game is so aggressive now that like you can't really tank up against a lot of things.
Yeah, when you're able to like close in on stuff or have your units close in a lot faster and cycle a lot faster than usual, right? It brings that more aggressive playstyle because you're able to take more turns. Shortens the game up a lot faster, or a lot more.
Cannaaaa, do you want to give your input? And after Cannaa's input, we'll go ahead and release a survey. Yeah.
Okay, I would definitely say that, I mean, kind of just like, not like the recycled opinion, but I mean, people have seen what units have come out recently, right? They're all like tank killer, like tank destroyer, like bruiser, like dealers, right? Like you have Strays, who I think is probably I think like most people consider it to be like the premier like tank killer, right? And for a little while, like when we had like Operator Sigrid, same thing, right? Like FCC, okay, like in some cases it's like literally not like a unit, right, against her. And I just feel like the more and more like people experiment, especially with like certain units like these, like this like RB Strays draft, right? Like it hasn't been out for like years or anything, or like since the very beginning of Strays like coming out. It was developed and like discovered, and then people realized, hey, wait, like you can't really like, especially against that cleave. I know I'm talking more about cleave, but like I've seen people use like Strays just as like a standalone bruiser unit. You can't just like willy-nilly pick a knight or like just pick a tank. That unit is just fodder for Strays. And then especially like depending on like how you're using Strays, like I know some people do like a pocket the Strays comp where they just protect and use invuln and stuff like that. Or if people just use like a stray like Operator Sigrid or a tank buster, it's I don't really agree with it either. I don't know how we would ever go back to like old tank meta. And I played during that when I had no gear, no units, and I had to Cerise cleave into that. I don't think that could ever happen.
We had to
I
cleave
feel like
into
it'd
it
be
too.
hard.
Especially because me and New were either
I was a cleaver back then.
Yeah, a cleaver or a slow cleaver, like a single
Yeah.
unit cleaver, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, it was rough back then. Playing with it was rough.
Okay, so I just want to say, guys, welcome to the exclamation mark tier stream. Survey will now be up. Enjoy.
All right, let's put up that survey. Giggity got it for us in the background.
Okay.
And there you go. Exclamation point survey is up. You guys can get your 3 leaves and 300k gold. Know that your opinion matters on this, so we do take this seriously. Any opinions that you have on there, we do go through and send it over to the peeps in Korea so they can listen and
Yeah,
see
there's
what
a
your
lot of
opinions
questions on today's topic on this survey.
Mhm.
So that way, you know, we're not listening to just 3. You said high quality, right? High end. You said high end, right? Yeah.
are. Let's just say high quality.
Okay,
Let's put high
okay.
quality. You know?
So
Quality good.
Yeah, that way we're getting the opinions of everyone in chat and not just these folks that we have on today's broadcast. Anyways, I really appreciate you guys coming on today's stream.
I do appreciate you guys
Yeah.
always hanging out with us.
We still have a couple more topics to get through. Okay.
And we always have open-ended topics at the end.
Yep. All right. So next talking point. This one's stepping away from. Well, I guess no, it's stepping back into World Arena, but not necessarily talking about like the drafting and like the new heroes coming out affecting it. But
A little more of the system.
yeah. About the system. I want to ask: was the point system during the season's preseason fine, or do you guys like the current point system? And what I mean, let me elaborate for chat real quick. In preseason, you actually had a really hard time climbing if you were a Cannaaaa. But if you were like a Kenny or like a New or a Light, you could actually climb because you're winning more of your games. Yeah. Okay. Now you go for it, Light.
Okay, so I feel like the system was like one step forward and 2 steps back. So in preseason, I was one of those people who played a lot of games in preseason because I had nothing else to do, and I was struggling. I was struggling so hard to get to Crab, and like I was even like worried for myself. Like, wait, if the season actually starts, can I even get to Legend with only a 60% win rate? It was feeling pretty bad. And but then when they changed the points, they pretty much changed the points back to the old system. And then you could get to like top 10 Legend with 60% win rate. What was the whole point of that? I feel like it had to be something like in the middle, because like in preseason it was so hard to climb, but now it's too easy to climb. So like it just went from like one extreme to another extreme. Like I think it needed a middle ground
I see.
of some sort.
Yeah, I'm on the same boat as well. I think it was a good change. It was definitely like, I think a lot of people were like a little deemed unmotivated because of where they stood on the ladder, right? Like really struggling. But if you think about it in like a more holistic level, like everyone was kind of in the same spot. So like where you position yourself is like essentially exactly the same as where it would have been, right? It's just like at a different scale, right? I definitely think it was a good change. I think it was a little rough, right? But I think if we go back to that system and add a little more adjustments, I think it'd be for the better. Because I do think I agree with Guy. It's a little easy to climb, at least right now.
I feel like So long as we fix the oh god, what was it? Do you guys remember like the first day when the system came out and people were losing like 40 a match? I think it's because I'm in placements. That was psycho. And like win plus, I think it got the worst it got was like you win a game and you lost a point. That was
Yeah,
that was pretty. That was pretty wild. But I feel like I would definitely like agree. I feel like in general with the point system, okay, I tried to hit legend last season in like the previous like point system, right? And I got pretty close, but I'll be honest with you, like that I think like the amount of games I played like the last like 3 days, and like I guess like just a byproduct of that, like how many games everyone was playing those last few days, and like, you know, the point fluctuation I think was like ridiculous. I think like I was like actually stressed out to like to climb the last day. Like I like climbed with like a few friends of mine, and we were all like, oh my god. I think like the predicted like point value or something at one point was like 3.8 or like 4,000 or something, and it jumped. I think, what was it at the end, like 4.2? 4.2 is a lot of points, like especially like even if you're close, like trying to get to like 4.2k was actually like really stressful.
Grind.
Yeah, it was like really tough. And I don't really know like what the solution to that per se is, but I definitely knew that like after, I think like literally the night that I finished like trying to climb, I was like, I'm never doing this again. or like this exact system again, or I'm just gonna like, you know, crap game it out or something. Like it was just, it was too much. Like at least for me.
I think, yeah, but I think the flip side to that is like, you know, me and Kat have been pushing for Legend for a few seasons now, and there's a handful of players that will come out the very last week and just steamroll through the ladder and end up Legend, right? But like with the way that when the point system is that high, it does make people play a little bit earlier, right? Which means that they will have to kind of grind out the games and really earn Legend, right? Because back in season 1 and season 2, like there were definitely people that only played the last week and were still able to hit Legend, which I feel like takes away from a lot of the people that, you know, I mean, there's no real correlation with being in Legend right now versus like if you get Legend at the end of the season, but I feel like it does reward players for at least, you know, playing in the middle of the season.
True. It's like the push and pull, right? It's trying to find a balance between number of games played and giving that work over to those people who gain those points, and also to the people who just actually are good at what they do, right? Good at RTA, have a high win rate,
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah. Though I will say that I'll save it for the next topic actually, because we're getting there. we're getting there to the next topic. But I will say that, yeah, like it's I think Light were you the one that said that, where it's like two extremes, but maybe there is a place in the middle.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, moving on to the last topic. Emperor rank. Is it a competitive rank? Would you guys say that Emperor players, there is a distinct skill gap between an Emperor and a champion player?
Yes. Well, I think it's kind of competitive, right? Because the cutoff for Emperor is actually going up pretty fast. That means a lot of people in Emperor are playing. So that means it's pretty competitive, right? So it's like Legend, or it's like the same trend as Legend, right? Where the cutoff goes up and people play. But
Yeah, I see that last bit.
wait, so about like champ versus Emperor,
Yeah.
that's kind of weird. Maybe like an Emperor player who's like close to Legend would be distinctly better than a champ player, but other than that, it's probably not that much of a difference, right?
That's the real talk,
weird.
right? That's the real talk, because like before when we talked about like how champion was a rank, right? But there was such a huge discrepancy between like high-end champ versus like just being
Low-end
regular,
champ, yeah.
regular champion, just like you just hit champ, and like the difference was crazy. Now we're pretty much trying to find like, is that difference now that Emperor's out? Is that a big difference? It's like, are the high-end champs still now the high-end like Emperor players, or is it just like?
Well, here, okay.
More like a
I know we
motion
have two. We didn't get the input of Kenny and Cannaaaa on this topic, but I have a very I have my gripes right now on this topic, okay? And I'm just gonna let it out. And someone in chat actually said what I was thinking.
Alright, let's see it.
But we recently made the decision to reward players who played a lot of games by giving them free points because we were making adjustments to the beginning of the season where the point system was during like similar to preseason. So a bunch of people who were in like champion, they log in the next day and they got like plus 500 points. And now suddenly you have an influx of people who are in Emperor with 45% win rate or 43% win rate. And it's like that, and then like the quality of players in Emperors dropped that day. People who don't deserve to be an Emperor were placed in Emperor because we decided to be generous and reward our dedicated players. Not good. I say dedicated, not good. Dedicated players. Anyway, the floor is now yours, Cannaaaa and Kenny.
All right, let me. I think the better way to kind of tackle this question is, unfortunately, not to look at it as like a competitive rank, but as a step in the right direction to motivate a lot of players to continue pushing after champion. Right. I think that prior to Emperor being released, a lot of people would stop playing RTA after they hit their like baseline of champion. Right. I think last season, like the cutoff at champion was like 10,000 something players, and then as you move up, it got drastically lower. So I think like even though Emperor might not be the most competitive rank, competitive being that like most of the skill in Epic 7, which is what I consider a lower skill ceiling, is based off of drafting, right? I think is not going to be that different from someone who's in Legend versus Champion versus Emperor. But I think what it does do that's very well is that one person who was unwilling to push after Champion will now be motivated to at least push for Emperor. And if that person is then motivated and is then like seeing that they're doing pretty well and continue pushing and maybe get to Legend, that incites another handful of players to potentially play. Right?
Yeah.
And I think that's
That's
a
true.
really, really good thing. Because I feel like if it makes the next person at least play, we get a larger player base to kind of get into RTA, which I consider probably the premier content in Epic 7 right now. Right?
Right. No,
Yeah,
I will definitely agree with that statement. I think after we gave points out to a lot of people for like making up for that loss of points during the early in the season, I noticed that Emperor rank became a lot more competitive because people were given all this point, so they felt like they were on the cusp of
Yeah.
Emperor.
Now I have to
yeah.
play for it.
Now I play.
Make sure to keep my
Yeah.
rank up.
Right. If you're like below like ranks 800 in Emperor, it gets pretty competitive. You'll notice your rank in 800 dropping pretty fast because people are just constantly trying to push for the top 1,000 spot. But I want the input from our best and most known representative of Emperor rank, Cannaaaa. What are your thoughts?
It pains me that you introduced this to me because I was about to like throw myself under a little bit. So you were just talking about how like Emperor 800 like rank gets like a little competitive. Okay, I told you right now I'm 27, I'm up there, right? I want you guys to know I was pretty keen on where the bottom of Emperor was because I've been climbing up and down Emperor all day and night this whole week. And let me tell you, the very, very bottom, like actually like 900 and 1,000, the people have no idea how to play. Like, or I shouldn't say don't have any idea, but there are a lot of drafting flaws, and there are a lot of like issues with the way that they kind of like play out the matches. And this is coming from someone who has no idea how to play out the matches. But the second that you hit like 600 to like 500, I kid you not, like these people, like either I recognize them by like name, or like I walk into a match and like I don't kill anything, or like I've just been outbrained. Like you can't do the usual tricks to like kind of outdraft them, or you can't just rely on your units to like. It's very, 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 very stark. Like it's kind of what you said, right? Like when you said like 800 is like kind of there, but I really, really think that like there's probably like a good like 500, 600 people that make me like that keep like pushing me further and further and further. I have to keep playing and playing and playing to like compensate it, and like I'll lose like 7 in a row, to like all these like rank 700 to like maybe like rank 600 players, and then I become the rank 700 600 player, and then on one occasion got a little worse where I hit champ for one game okay? Or like but I came back, right? So yeah, here I am.
Hey, as long as you
But,
bounce
I think
back,
it's
that's all
better.
that matters.
Like I just
I
want to
think
say,
it's better.
yeah, I just want to say, as much as we like pick on Kana, I do admire how tenacious he is, and I do believe that is the best word to describe Kana.
Tenacious, huh?
Yes.
Connor's just like, I can't tell if this is a compliment or not.
Tenacious.
He just
This sounds like one of these compliments where it's like, you know what? Connor was the only person that could have done what he did in that situation. Like one of those like real obscure, ambiguous compliments. Like, oh, you know
Yeah.
what? Thanks.
This is a Connor thing, perfect.
I believe that does wrap up all of our topics for today's podcast. I was wondering if we could just open the floor to chat, and chat if you had any questions that you wanted to ask for our guests here with us today. Please feel free.
Yeah, let us know if you guys want to ask them anything. Pick at their big, huge brains, you know.
I don't know about that one. My brain is as smooth as a soccer ball. That is not true at all.
You could have gone smoother though. You could have gone smoother. See, soccer
That's
ball.
true. I used to play some pretty competitive games. I feel like there were some folds in my brain, but as soon as I really got into the thick of things, it's been kind of mellowing out. That's okay.
Someone's asking, what's your current strat on gear crafting? Specify to
Hey.
light, but you know.
Oh yeah, can like how do you guys
Let's
gear?
see. I craft gear that I have the lowest amount of 20 speeders on. So like I have like in every slot I have like 820 speeders except in my swords. So I crafted
Dang.
swords this hunt buff, and then I got a 24 speed sword.
Ugh,
On speed set?
ugh.
Oh, it was crit set, but it, like perfect defensive subs.
I just want to say I do see your comment, by the way, about like rewarding people who grind RTA. So yeah, you don't need to add any. I see it.
Someone said, what's your guys' take on Caesarea now versus on release?
See,
A lot
I think
better,
she's
actually.
really
Yeah, Caesarea.
Yeah. Oh no, same thing as Cat, pretty much. Pretty good. No, like actually, pretty usable. It's just solid.
Oh.
I watched Texity abuse, not I shouldn't say abuse, but really like climb quite a bit with his special tech. That was kind of something. I'm not gonna lie. It's if you don't know what it is, I won't brief my man's win rate, but he was the only person I think I saw for a week that made that character work. It's actually really impressive.
All right, this is one, two that I really want, said by our YouTube chat as well. Do you think we should have something like a first win of the day for RTA? Wouldn't that be a more of incentive for people who play RTA actively?
Ooh.
Isn't there
Yeah, for sure. Now, is it like a resource reward or is it like a point gain reward?
It's just out here, like, if you would want, like, what do you think? Do you think that, like, in general, like, that would be a good thing, like a reward, some kind of, like, thing that you could keep up with?
I think yeah. Because I've been missing a few ML4s, most keenly Angel of Light. It'd be great to get an ML4 selector for my first win of the day. That'd be fantastic.
Oh my
And I'm
gosh.
sure everyone in the community would totally agree.
I do. I want, please.
Actually,
But I do think in general though, like having
Again?
I do think having at least another daily, like a checkbox to do, definitely would incentivize people to play. Because you also don't need to do it, right? Because you only decay in RTA after a certain rank every 2 days, right? So
I
you don't
do
have to
think-
do it if you don't want to.
like the web event, right? The web event was nice.
Yeah, the web event that we originally had, I remember,
Yeah, for
where you just
RTA.
get energy, right?
Oh yeah.
that was nice.
That was nice.
That
And it was like
nice.
40,
That was nice.
40 or 60 energy, something like that.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
down.
the
I'm down.
charms too. Yeah. And gold.
Most of the PvP achievements or like the dailies all get completed by the RTA stuff now too, right? And we
Yep.
have like sometimes what is it? The one where it's like you get to reroll the puzzle pieces. Those count too. I steam through that all the time because I will just like after an RTA match on stream, I just like get the one that says like not win but play the
Yeah, play.
arena matches. You know, like the
Not win, but
compensation one.
play.
I'll make sure to get that one.
Yeah, and I do see some concerns from chat saying like they don't want RTA to feel like it's a chore, and so maybe it's important that the rewards for whatever it is
It's not too crazy.
isn't too crazy where you feel like you need
Yeah.
to do it.
But it's like
a choice.
it's enough for people to at least want to play.
Yeah, like watching ads, you know, like some
Yeah,
people
people watch
do that,
ads.
some people don't.
And then at the end of the day, it's their choice for that reward or not. I
do
did see
think-
earlier.
I do think you guys are underselling it though, because I play other games as well, and I've brought up multiple times when people make fun of me for my low skill, that I'm Legend RTA in Epic 7, and it always shuts them up. They never say anything after that. So I feel like you guys are devaluing the actual title of being Legend RTA or Emperor RTA. So you
Sure,
never
sure,
tried it
you
before.
could-
Maybe
you
it's
could
worthwhile
brag.
to try.
You know, you have people on other games. You talk to people on other games. You're like, hey, I'm Legend RTA, and then they just
Make
they're
it your
just like,
Discord bio. Yeah, because people can click on that. Legend RTA. Oh, I'm not gonna mess with this guy.
yeah, this guy knows what he's talking about. Oh my gosh. But yeah, other than that, I did see one regarding new content. How do you guys feel about the new content that's coming out? In regards to like what was released at or shown at the anniversary.
Oh, I'm excited for that. That looks really good. I feel like any sort of new content has always been pretty fleshed out at like Smallgate is released, so I'm looking forward to it for sure.
That
Whoa.
1 minute like animation reel was sick. That
Yeah.
I think I probably watched that like, God, had to be like 40 or like 50 times to like figure out like who was who or whatever. Like, we don't know like who the characters are like exactly aside from like Bellion or whatever. But like, I think that like the like the short transition between like seeing like ML whatever unit like Lilius or whoever you want to call it, and then like the sword cutter guy like beating up like the target dummy, and then the guy that like cut the grass in like a crescent. I thought that like whole segment was like, yeah, okay, bust out the the wallet or the whatever and the no more Covenant bookmarks for a month type thing, whatever type thing.
Hey Cannaaaa, you wanna SSS every unit with me?
This, if you do this,
Here we
this
go
is your
again,
pact
here we
on
go
stream.
again.
There's recorded content for this, okay? Don't you go, who? Huh? What? We were gonna do that? Are you? What are you talking about, Connor? Okay, if you say this on stream and we make this pact, I have recorded evidence that we do this. Okay, no more.
Hey, so
I
you're
didn't
down?
tell you- Okay, which one?
I don't know, all of them.
All of them? Okay, if there's like 2 to 3 months in between them, yes. Okay, sure.
God, you are such a whale.
You're such a whale! You agreed to it! What is this? Oh my god, dude.
I'm like
Oh,
joking
God.
around though, but you're taking me
Baby,
seriously. I
Dude.
don't know, I'm kind of concerned for you.
What do you mean? It's a pact!
So packed.
Imagine
Where's the
joking
honor?
around. Imagine joking around and being taken seriously. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway.
But like, what are you most excited to see, especially from that video, the update video?
Who are you
Light?
talking to?
Light?
I don't know, I just want new characters. Hopefully new relevant characters that will shake up the RTA meta.
What would it be? What skills would you put on someone? I'm just thinking.
I'm just trying to think what's oppressive in this meta right now.
True.
Alright, let me think. It needs to be something that like kills tank players.
I feel like we have a pretty okay amount of like things to kill tank.
Kill
Yeah,
tank
but
players.
like it's more fun if there would be more of them,
That's true. More of them.
Someone said, why do I care about shaking up the meta? He's gonna cleave anyway.
Yeah, but it gets boring cleaving with like the same stuff over and over, right? You need more diversity.
That's why you
Maybe
do
that
the
means we
Kana
need more
route.
tanks. Yeah.
No, you
Maybe that means
gotta
we
be
need more
like
tanks.
Kana.
We
You
need
guys
more
gotta be-
reviving tanks that come back with 100% CR. We need a tank that does that. It'd be sick.
Oh god. But yeah, see,
I think
this
Red
is
Cat
why.
does that, right?
Yeah, Kana, dude. You gotta have that spice and the ingenuity.
Wait. I have to ask this, okay? Because it like revolves around. Okay, so you say to like screw the tank players, right? Or like to mess with the tank players. if you, I'm more curious because this is probably something that haunts both you and I every night.
Probably
when we go
not,
to
but
bed. No, yeah, no. Trust me. Don't worry. You don't have to be shy about this. Okay, so what do you think about an actual counter to ACID that isn't guiding light?
it's pre-ban. Have you watched my stream lately? The easiest counter to ACID is pre-ban. I think
gosh.
ACID pre-ban is probably the best pre-ban for a cleaver. Here, listen here. Anyone under a rock? ACID pre-ban is the future. If you're slow, you just ban ACID and then people can't race you anymore. You're like breaking their ankles. It's that easy.
So what happened to that one draft that I showed earlier, where you lost to a man named Dubix who paveled you?
He's straight up.
I mean, he was lucky. I didn't roll my 24 speed sword until the other day. And if I had that, I would have won.
We do have, Exhibit B again for everyone who's doubting. We do have it right here.
Hey,
there's
listen. I have like 300 losses. You get like 300 exhibits.
I just want to point out I beat Dubix like earlier today, by the way, in a speed race. I'm just giving you
Speed RNG. You speed RNG'd him.
I did not.
You know what?
I
You know what, Cannaaaa? Let me go grab a gold sticker just for you.
Oh,
You deserve it.
Oh,
Good job. I am so proud of you.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing to the class.
But yes, guys, if anyone has any more questions, please add us. At us.
Yeah, you could just
so
add, like
us.
message us on Discord. You could, reach out to these guys. They're streamers, so yeah, just check them out.
Yeah, check them out. Yeah, we can have their socials up right here. Yep. Yes, you check them out right there. You check out their socials.
And
All
I know
streamers on
BK
Twitch.
Kenny. He said that he'd be streaming a lot more.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Transition from my prior job. Very exciting.
Wait, you
Yeah.
forgot my OnlyFans again.
Oh, dude, I forgot. My bad. You guys can check it out on his Twitch page anyway.
That
So make
is
sure you
true.
check it on that.
Thanks.
But anything you guys want to say before we shut down today's podcast? Any last words? Any farewells?
I would like to follow up on the fact that I will still definitely dig up these gold stickers for Cannaaaa for beating Dubix. Cannaaaa, I'm very happy for you. It was a great accomplishment.
Can I ask for Kenny to pay for my hospital, my ambulance ride after this stream, or like what? is this covered by E7? I just gotta ask.
We are. Yeah, that's not us. No. that ain't us.
you signed something to come on today's. We're not.
This
we're
is
not
true.
We're not liable.
Got it.
Yeah.
Remember when I sent you that page document? It's on there. All the stuff is on.
Oh, got it.
Yeah,
Next to the
yeah.
script for this stream. Got
Yeah,
it.
exactly. But guys, we also
wait,
have.
Light needs to say
Oh
it.
yeah, Light.
What?
Any last words for the stream?
No.
Okay, now you can. Let's go.
But yeah, guys, we're also gonna be able to choose 3 people in total to give out 150 Sky Stones to for the things of Kenny, Cannaaaa, and Light. And you guys gotta choose 2. Let's just have Kenny and Cannaaaa choose from Twitch. Light, you gotta choose from YouTube.
The YouTube open.
All right, let's.
Wait,
I want to see someone.
You link the YouTube to me?
I want someone in my chat right now to say
New
something
said
that
you got it.
stands out.
I'll pick YouTube. Okay, Light.
He got your back,
Okay,
Light.
you
Don't
got
worry.
it.
Okay, I want someone to say that I am faster than Light E7, and you have my vote.
Whoever's the first one to say that, then call him out.
See, you can't.
I don't
buy
think
me
I-
out
I don't
like
think
that.
I-
Unlike Cannaaaa, you cannot buy me out like that. I want someone to say something that stands out to me in chat, because I have my own opinions, and you can't buy me out.
Imagine having your own opinion.
But yes, Connor. So who? Oh well, let's start with Kenny first. Kenny, who do you choose?
All right, I've looked through every single message that was displayed, every single one, no scam. And you know who stood out to me the most? I'm going to pick. Let's see. Oh, I should have probably picked earlier, huh? I'm going to pick Spade Rue with 3 O's.
Spade Brew with 3 O's. So Spade Brew, if you could message at Epic7 on the Twitch chat alongside Discord as well. You can message Gegedy on Discord. Spade Brew, SPADEROOO. I'm assuming that's how it's spelled. Is that true? Yeah, there it is. And that is Kenny's pick.
Okay, my pick is I like this comment that this person called. I think it's. I don't know. Let me just copy paste it. It's like I think his name is Milkshakes, but it's like 1 instead of an L. And he said, "Kenny, you were never good at TFT." I think that's my winner for the stream.
What?
All right. Well, how do you spell it again?
I think it's MI1K Shakes, SHAKES.
All right. So Mike Shakes. So what's his name? what? Oh, Milkshake.
Yeah, it's like milkshakes.
Yes,
yeah.
Milkshakes. Thank you. Make sure to message us on Twitch on Epic7 and Gegedy for the backend on Discord. Make sure to message him your server and your in-game name. Yeah. And last but not least, Nue is choosing for light, in this case for YouTube. Because he's blind, he's getting a lot closer to the screen. So don't worry, guys, if you're wondering what the heck Nue is doing.
I'm going to pick ZE Shiro
Okay.
314.
Oh.
Their message really captivated
Yeah.
me. They said, "I'm very handsome. Choose me, king."
There you go. Shiro. SHIRO. 314. So Zshiro or Zeshiro 314, make sure to message us on our Discord for Gegedy. So make sure to message them on there. If you guys don't have our Discord page, it's discord.gg/officialepic7. Nue, all I see is your arm. This is great.
I'm really veiny inside.
But yes, now we're back.
Veiny I am.
And once again, guys, we're going to call for last words, guys. If you guys have anything else to say to the chat. If not, then we'll go ahead and raid someone for Light's choosing, I guess, because
Alright,
he's already done.
right.
No, that's it. But you guys have anything else to say?
Yeah, it was a pleasure to have me. Thank you, Mashuu. Thank you, Nue. It was a lot of fun. Hopefully, I got to provide some insight for RTA and as well as have some fun, spicing things up a little bit. So yeah, I appreciate it.
I just have to ask, did you say it was a pleasure to have me?
Of course.
Is
Are
that
you
what you
talking to
said?
us or
Kenny, you said
Kenny?
it was no, Kenny. Kenny, you said it was a pleasure to have me on the stream. Is that what you said?
It was a... Wait, did I? I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, whatever.
You know what I mean. Relax.
Thank you for having me on, Nue Mashuu. Always a pleasure. Always a fun time talking to like-minded and like gear scored and gameplay styled personalities. Yeah, hope to be here again soon.
Last but not least, Light, anything to say?
Can I plug my merchandise?
Go ahead, you plug whatever you want, man.
Oh, cool. Hey, if anyone didn't know, I have merchandise dropping on September 30th. Okay, that's it.
Not even what it is, it's just I have merch.
Okay, so if you guys haven't noticed, there's like this popular emote. There's this Light 7L. It's been trending lately. Do I have any toxic Lighty 7 cells in the chat? Yes, this Flan L thing. You can get this thing as a sticker or keychain or on a t-shirt on the 30th of September.
There you go. That's how you promote, like, that's what I want to hear. Alright guys, you guys know where to check him out already. Once again, oh yeah, like, if you could please choose a raid target for us.
I feel like
But you're really putting me on the spot here.
well,
Or Nue,
because I feel bad because like
for the last stream.
well because like we raid Genocide a couple times in the past.
True.
But today he was on standby for us.
Yeah, you should have replaced Kenny, right?
Look at
No,
the streamers on right now.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
if I had to give my recommendation.
Yeah, wait, let's raid Matcha Burb.
Oh wait.
Agreed.
Okay. Actually,
Oh, yeah,
let's do
actually.
it. Let's do it.
Agreed.
Yes.
Yes, let's raid Matcha Bird.
I'll show you. I'll show her back then. You got it? You got it?
You got it? Yeah. All right. So we'll be raiding Matcha Bird. Tell them we said what is up from the official Epic 7 chat and that Cannaaaa Light. I almost forgot my name. Mashuu Nue sent you.
Yep.
And yeah, I guess that's it from us, right?
Yes.
We will see you guys next time on next week. We have a patch update next week on Wednesday morning, Tuesday night, if you want to call it that. And yeah, we will see you guys next time. Take it easy.
Bye bye, guys.